Very good evening, everyone. Today's topic is going to be about writing emails. Very important thing is when you start writing an email, there are plenty of etiquettes that you need to know about writing emails. Okay, so I wouldn't be concentrating much about examples with writing emails today, but there are a lot many information about the importance of writing email, the basic etiquettes that you need to follow is what I'm going to concentrate more in today's class. Okay, so anyways, I will just start now. You all know that when you want to write an email, you must have your own email ID. That's the most important thing that you all must know. Okay, so first of all, when it comes to creating an email ID as a professional, as a student, okay, as a professional and as a student, as a professional student also, okay, you what you need to do is that you need to create a professional email ID. See, many times what happens is, students will be students, boys will be boys. You just can't do anything about the some of the nature. It's like the tendency of the students to have very funky names. Okay, something like your sweetheart at gmail.com, or cute neha at gmail.com, or hot pratik at email.com, gmail.com. These all are very, very funny. I'm just giving you example. This is how students generally keep their email IDs. So if you ever have such type of email ID, please don't use it, because very soon you are going to be professionals. You are professional students doing MCA. It is expected that you people need to show your professionalism. So first, most important thing you must remember is that when you're using an email ID to contact with any faculty members, you may not believe that once you come to sixth semester, okay, your communication when you are doing your internship, when you're doing your project, you won't be in the college premise, you'll be in some other place. So most of the communication will happen with you and your internal guide and external guide through emails. You can see my inbox here. Okay, see Divya, Samarth, all these are related to Rupa, Deepa. So many, most of the emails are from students. Okay, most of the emails are from students, and I keep communicating. Due to this lockdown, the entire project phase that we conducted was online, and students, my students, and I mean everybody were communicating under me through emails only. So email is a very important means of communication these days in any organization. Okay, it is used for internal communication as well as external communication. So writing emails professionally, you should know the etiquettes. You are supposed to show your professionalism, what type of a person you are, how serious you are, how professional you are at all. You get to know by the way you write your emails. Just like I told you how you write your cover letter. Cover letter is something as the first impression that you show about the type of personality you are. So as I said, how important it is when you're writing an letter, be it application letter or any kind of formal letter. Similarly, emails are these days widely used in organization, small organization, medium scale organization, large organizations, for formal official communication. Okay, it can be used for internal as well as external communication. What is internal communication? If you look at my inbox, you can see there's a message from dean admin. Okay, then there is a message from so many of my colleagues and principals. What does this indicate? That whenever any important message is to be circulated to the entire staff of GIT or to a specific group of staff, emails are used. Why I'm showing you my inboxes, so that you'll get to know how important email is. So internal communication is among the staff members or among the staff for official purpose only, not for any unofficial purpose. Nowadays WhatsApp is also being used officially. We have many official WhatsApp group also. Okay, but that's a different thing. I just wanted to tell you that emails are widely used in organization for internal communication. What is external communication? Now if you look at this inbox of mine, this person called Kalpak, okay, happens to be the external guide of one of my students. So he is somebody who is associated with JIT MCA, but externally. He's not a person who is internal, he's not an internal staff. Yet I had to communicate with him for for certain reason, which is related to the student's internship. So people who are associated within your organization but who are not a part of your organization as your colleagues or your staff, but you need to communicate with them, those are the people who are externally connected. So when you are using email for external communication, means it is official communication, work related communication, associated and connected with you and your work and your organization. So emails are widely used for internal as well as for external communication. This is what you need to know very, which is very important. As I said, once you come to your sixth semester, you're going to communicate with your guides only through emails. That most of the time it's going to be through emails, because you need to do a lot of submissions. So many things. You'll be doing your internship. Moreover, you'll be communicating once you go for internship and for project outside. There also you'll be communicating with people who are associated with your project work and internship. Okay. Now coming to the next thing is, now whenever you want to compose an email, okay, this is how your email box looks like. I don't have to tell you, you all know that. Okay, what is important here? Okay, as you can see, two is there. Okay, two is there, CC is there, and BCC is there, and subject is there, and then this is the place where you write your content. Okay, so what are the important parts of an email application? How do you define email? Technically, it's nothing but a web application that allows that allows us to communicate. It allows for offline communication using the internet. So it's basically a web application, no doubt about it. It's used for offline communication. It can be used to exchange messages. It can be, we can attach different types of documents along with an email and send it to the person whomever we are trying to connect or communicate. Okay, so what are the different parts of our email? So whenever you want to write an email, the first part is, which is very important, is, is to means what? Like for example, um the person whom you intend to write an email. Okay, the person whom you intend to write an email, the original person. Like say for example, I want to write email to my students. Okay, let's say for Divya Patil, for example. So here you can see, the moment I type, this is the two part. Now what is CC and BCC? CC and BCC is nothing but carbon copy and blank carbon copy. Now what is the basic difference between carbon copy and blank carbon copy? Suppose, say, assume that I'm trying to communicate with Divya. Okay, there's some problem, or there's some problem with Divya. There's some kind of issue which I want to discuss. But along, let's say for example, I just want to say, dear Divya, okay, this I will say, kindly arrange to send the internship form from your external guide. Okay, this is the message which I'm writing to Divya. Now I want my communication, which is happening between me and Divya. Okay, but HOD also should know about it. Okay, so what I will do here is, under CC, I will say HOD MCA at GIT. What does it mean? It means that a copy of the communication between me and Divya is being sent to HOD. Okay, fine. Now let's say, what is this BCC? What is BCC? Blank carbon copy. Okay, assume that there is a person called Kalpak. Okay, now this person happens to be the external guide of Divya. Okay, now blank carbon copy is being sent to Kalpak Lunia, who happens to be the external guide. Okay, of say Divya. Or else we'll do like this. I'll delete this. Let's say I want to send a carbon copy to Divya's guide. Okay, these are all actual usernames which I'm using in my examples. Okay, and a blank carbon copy to HOD MCA. What happens when I send a carbon copy and a blank carbon copy? So whatever message I send to Divya, a copy will be sent to Kalpak Lunia, who happens to be the guide of Divya. And what happens to HOD MCA? HOD MCA will also receive the same email ID. Remember, there are 3 person here, 2 person, carbon copy and blank carbon copy. All these 3 people are going to receive my email, which I have originally written to Divya. But what is the difference between carbon copy and blank carbon copy? Okay, carbon copy, what happens is when I send a carbon copy, Kalpak will come to know that he has received a carbon copy and the original message is for Divya. Whereas when you send a blank carbon copy, okay, HOD MCA will come to know that I have written an email to Divya and I have written a carbon copy to Kalpak, okay, and blank carbon copy to HOD. But Kalpak will not come to know, and nor will Divya come to know that a blank carbon copy has been sent to HOD. So blank carbon copy means the original receiver and the carbon copy receiver will not come to know that this message is also being sent. It is hidden. Okay. I know and HOD will know that, I mean, HOD is the message which has been sent to HOD will be hidden by the sender, that is Divya as well as Kalpak. This is what you need to remember about the carbon copy and the blank carbon copy. Now, before I continue, I want to know whether you people have understood the concept of carbon copy and blank carbon copy. I want you people to please answer me. Did you understand the concept of carbon copy and blank carbon copy, everybody? Priyanka, please respond. Priyanka, Haribal.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood, right? Everybody, I hope the concept of carbon copy and blank carbon copy is understood to everybody. I want one more
Yes,
student to
ma'am.
answer. Okay. Aniket joined. Somebody said yes. Who was that? Please respond. Students, please respond. If anybody has any doubts, please ask. It's not that you just have to say yes or no. If any other doubt you have, you please respond. I hope everybody has understood. Aishwarya? Understood the concept of carbon copy and blank carbon copy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So shall I continue?
Yes,
Shall I
ma'am.
continue? Okay, fine. Now, so as I said, so far there were three important things that I told you. Okay, when you're writing an email, your email ID must have a very professional email ID. Okay, the ID must sound very professional. Don't use any funky and funny names. Second thing, whenever you're writing an email, there are different parts of an email. Important parts are two: carbon copy, blank carbon copy, and the subject line. Okay, and soon after the subject comes your body where you actually write the content. Okay, so now coming to the next part, which I want to tell you is that certain etiquettes that about the email writing. What are the etiquettes? Okay, let us discuss the etiquettes one by one. First, email ID must have a professional name. It must display your name followed by your surname. This is the first important thing. Okay. Then second is never write an email without subject. Okay. Use the KISS formula. What is KISS formula? It means keep it short and simple. Okay. Subject line must indicate the purpose. It can include a very short phrase or just 2 to 3 words. Your subject should not be a lengthy sentence. Remember that. Subject must be as short as possible, and the moment the person reads the subject, he must come to know what the purpose of the email is. Then, never write an email without subject. Okay. Now, this KISS formula is for the matter. Whatever matter you write in the after the subject, the main content of your email must follow the KISS formula. Keep it short and simple. Not for the subject. Subject, of course, must be as short as possible, and it must indicate the urgency and the purpose of the main matter. Okay, never write an email without subject. Students, again, there is power cutoff here. Suddenly my laptop may anytime it may just drain away, and you may not be able to. I'll tell you in case if that happens. As of now, just try to remember these important things. Never write an email without subject. Never write subject or email content in capital. Okay. Never write an email or subject in capital. If you write it, if you write in capital, it means you are shouting at the sender. Actually, this is what happens. If you want to shout at somebody, then you write the subject and email in capital letters. But please don't do that, because this is an email etiquette and this is a standard followed by everybody. Okay. The moment you write your email in capital or anything in capital, it's understood. Okay, it's understood that you are shouting at the person whoever receives the email. Okay. Then never use red color for subject and content. Use of red color indicates you are furious and angry at the person whom you are writing the email. Okay. So see, these are the important things that you must remember when you're writing an email. Check your email for spelling, grammar, and punctuation errors before sending. Next, make sure you have attached all the documents you have mentioned in your email. Never use, okay, SMS abbreviations in emails. Like, for example, LOL, BTW, I had taken one particular class in English when I showed you all how SMS language is used. BTW means by the way, LOL means laugh out loud, ASAP means as soon as possible, Actually, in professional emails, you're not supposed to use any kind of SMS abbreviation in email. It gives a very, very bad remark. Okay. So these are the important, you can say, the email etiquettes which you need to follow. Okay. So my battery is draining. I'll just read out once again. Make sure that your email ID has a very professional name. It must indicate your name, preferably followed by your surname. Never write an email without subject. Use the KISS formula. Keep it short and simple when you're writing the main email matter. Subject line must be indicating the purpose of your email. It may be as short as possible. It need not be a lengthy sentence or paragraph. Never write an email without subject. That I already told you. Never write subject or email content in capital. Writing in capital means you're shouting at the sender. Okay, never use red color for the subject and the content. Using red color means you're very, very angry, and you're somewhat like you're just showing your anger on that person. And check your email for spelling, grammar, and punctuation before sending the email. Make sure you have attached all the documents that you have mentioned in your email, and never use any SMS abbreviations in email. Okay, fine. And salutation and closing must be there in your email. So these are the important etiquettes that you must remember when it comes to writing an email. So I hope it is clear, everybody. I hope it is clear. Whatever I have taught you so far, I hope you all have understood. Say something. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.